Hi everybody, welcome back to Mando Lessons. My name is Baron Collins Hill. In this week's lesson we have a simple to complex lesson for the tune Tombigbee, or Tombigbee's Waltz. Great old-time waltz in the key of G. If you haven't learned the tune already, there is a resource for that. I made a lesson where I teach the tune by ear. You can also find the tablature and standard notation and chords to play along with, play-along jams, all that sort of stuff over at mandolessons.com, but I do recommend trying to learn it by ear. It's a pretty straightforward tune, and I think you can get it. Then we worked on the chords so we can back each other up, and now we're going to go back to the melody and play. I'll play the tune once as I wrote it out as a sort of skeleton of the tune, and then I'll go through and play a little bit of embellishment around it. I might add some double stops or some improvisation. These aren't going to be specific fingerings to use. I have lessons on how to add these things into your tunes, but this is just sort of talking about where I'm putting things within the tune and sort of why I'm choosing to do those, and less about having actual fingers down in particular places at particular times, but it'll be a little bit of that too. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Here we go. All right, once as written, and then I'll start adding some stuff. 1, 2, 3, here we go. B part. We'll start with a big G chord, or mostly G drone. A little bit of a D chord, C chord, back to G. And that G drone, again. Get a little bit of a D chord. And the B part, big G chord, C chord, C chord, C, improvisation. D chord, C chord, big G, C, maybe a little improv, big G, C, a little cross picking. One more time. Try to add all of it together. So a little chord, a little cross picking. Big G chord. E minor, a little substitution there. Do it again, big G, open 2, 2, 3 is an E minor. ending on that G. So a lot of what we were working on there was chord melody. That just started out with a drone, a big open G. That's a good note to have droning underneath a tune in the key of G. And then anytime possible, like that, with that strong B note in the melody at the beginning, we've got that G chord right underneath it. We're leaving the E string off. The melody always wants to be the highest note that we're playing. And sort of the same thing in the B part. Big full G chord, because our melody is that high G on the E string. We can use all the strings. And then the only thing I did that I didn't talk about before I did it was that E minor chord. So that's open, 2, 2, 3. That 3 on top is our melody. We have G chord, and then open, 2, 2, 3, and then C, back to G. And that E minor just gives you a little bit of variation. It'll often sound good, especially on a mandolin. If there's a guitar playing a G chord underneath, it's not a big deal if you go for that E minor. Whereas if you're playing a lower pitched instrument, maybe like an octave mandolin or a guitar, and you do a chord substitution, that's going to carry a lot more weight in an ensemble. Alright, hopefully you got something out of that. You can always go back and slow it down, or just take it little phrase by phrase every time I say something or do something. Slow down the video, stop it, loop it, and get that idea into your fingers. And then come back next week, because we will have a play-along jam where we'll pass the melody back and forth and accompany each other through the tune. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.